and you have no idea how happy I am, how excited I am to be back. So the last drawing that we did was, what is the last drawing that we did? The last drawing we did was of day 9, nest. And right after day 9, here we are jumping 8 steps ahead, and we've come here to day 17. So day 17, salty it is. Let's wait for a few of our participants to come in. Yes, Vipin, good morning. Good morning, Vipin. Good morning to the morning lives. So I had in fact been trying a little bit of day 10, just made a pencil sketch, but couldn't complete it, couldn't ink it yet. Mostly when I tried doing this. So I tried doing this when I was unwell, and during that time I couldn't draw because literally my fingers were shaking. So back then, yes, Vipin, I'm doing well now. I'm doing much, much better, which is why we are here. Right, I'm doing well. That's why I'm here. So during this time and it was bad. So that's, like my fingers were shaking and I couldn't draw. Now it seems fine. So day 9, 10. Let me just skip a few pages. 11, just go 11. This will go 12. This will go 13. 14. And this will go 15. 16. What day is it actually? 17. It is, yes, day 17. It's day 17. It's supposedly day 17. So day 17 salty. We're doing a sea turtle today. Right, so I'll just wait for a couple more minutes. Day 17, yes. We'll just wait for a couple more minutes for a few more participants to come in, and we'll get into the drawing right away. In the meantime, let me just confirm. 10, let's go 11. Or I'll just start from here right away. I'll leave all the page. I'll come back and I'll finish this later on. All right. Okay. So it's time. We are past our time, and now we are about to start. So for today's day 17, turtle. Today's day 17 turtle. Today's day 17 salt, we're going to do sea turtles. I've already shared the reference image in the group, and let's actually start by sketching it. Let's start by quickly sketching this out here. So I want to set like the 2/3 of the 2/3 of this is going to come here. I'm going to draw a portion of the turtle. So it's almost like the other portion is being covered, and that will be a part of the drawing effect. I'm going to start. This is where the shell is going to come. Good morning, Lakshmi. Where the shell is going to come, and this is where the rest of this is going to come. I'm just going to leave a Good morning, Krishna. Good to see you. Just leaving a small gap here. Good to see you. We're back with our morning classes. And then here, I'm going to draw a little bit of the belly, tummy, and the rest of the feet. So now drawing the face. See, notice how I'm drawing the face. Starting with like an egg shape, like an oval egg shape that I just project. And then I divide this into segments. And as I'm drawing it, I'm also showing the lower surface here. I'm not making it flat. Like when you're drawing the head, you don't want to draw it as it's looking flat. You want to add a surface. You want to add a bottom surface to it. So that will help create a sense of depth into this. And I'm showing the other legs that's coming here. So it's just curving it to the sides, bringing it here. Pushing it to come here. Now I'm going to add the beaks, the eyes. The beaks, the eyes, this. But there's neck coming here. Adding these folds here. Good morning, Pooja. Good to see you. Good to see all our all our regular students, all the people who come here regularly to come back. Love this morning community here. Then so just there are a lot of these scales and other patterns. For now I'll just make a very quick sketch here because later on I can add in the details. Here there's the shell that's forming. So I'm now drawing that. Adding the shell here. So the shell, I just want to first create the outer design. You can think of this design as layers of patterns. So the outermost pattern I'm drawing. Okay. Outermost pattern I draw. and complete it. Similarly, I'll do the inner part now. So now I'm adding these textures and patterns onto these outside surfaces, making these designs. So the major part of this, for every drawing, there is a portion that will take up the majority of the time. Like for certain things, it's a complicated shape. If you're drawing something with a very complicated shape, getting the outline right might be the one that takes a lot of time. In some, it's the inking and the detailing that will take a lot of time. The pencil sketch that will get over in very quickly in 5 minutes. For some, it will be the patterns like these. So always remember that you need to understand what is it that takes up the most amount of space and time and energy when you're making a drawing, and be comfortable in spending time on that. I mean, you can make the everything else faster, but here just take some time and care for this one. For this one, I have to spend time on the designing part. So I'll just give this the thing because this is all that there is to this, right? The outer this thing. So you can just basically look this up as segments. Sometimes, just if you're trying to make sense of all the patterns, it might not come, it might not be the case. Just making these small divisions here. Right, so just making these small divisions here. Let's bring a few of them on the face of this turtle as well. Here, just making these basic designs. So that's our sketch with all the nuances, intricacies, details, and everything. Now, if you're not clear at this stage, if you're not very clear on how a certain path should look, or you're not very satisfied, it's okay. Just let it be. Trust the process. As you continue towards the next stage, which is inking, which is detailing, and as you do all those things, clarity slowly starts coming in. Slowly, as you start detailing, some of the detail clarity that you did not have while penciling will come in. You don't have to be 100% clear in the first stage. So in the meantime, have some water. Get ready for the next. So I'm taking my usual 005 pen, 003 for the light, and 01. So most of my drawings I'll be making with these 005 and 01 tip pens. Starting off with the outline. So notice how I'm leaving a narrow gap in between these because I want to get there is a white space. If you look at the shell of this closely, in between each of these there is a negative space. This is a white space. Because I want to get that, I'm leaving a narrow gap. Leaving a very narrow gap in between these lines. Let's give a outline for the rest of the thing. See, just leaving a small narrow gap in between them. That left a lot of that's leaving a lot of scope for details. And as I'm inking itself, I'm slowly getting into the texturing and the detailing and all this as well. It's just about a pattern creation. You identify a pattern, you're creating it. So, and as I'm doing this one, notice how I'm giving a slight irregularity on the edges. That's in fact how it's shaped. Like if you, I don't know how many of you felt a sea turtle, but just by looking at it, you know that it isn't like a flat. It's make a mistake that a lot of us make when we are drawing this is we draw all the details inside, but then we just make it ekdam straight and smooth on the outside. But then in that way you lose a lot of the details. If you really want to enhance its look and make it seem like that, make it seem like it's actually it has this textures, then you have to texturize the edges as well. Otherwise it will look cartoonish. Just these irregularities you can bring in. Showing these irregularities on these surfaces well so that I can get this. Now I'm moving on to drawing the eyes. Bring in the slight slant and then the eyes overall shaped like this almond, and on top of that we are adding in these folds that really helps bring out its true nature. Start adding in a few details inside this here. See, I'm not just texturizing. I'm really looking at where there are gaps. In certain areas, gaps are not needed, so I just don't draw that. Certain areas it is useful, so you can draw that. And if you wish, you can shade inside these. You can shade inside these gaps. So as for this one, I'm not leaving gaps in between these textures because right here I just want to show the irregular surface rather than making a design over this. Like in certain areas such as this, it's very small, it's hardly visible. So you draw them as such. And similarly, as I'm working on this, as I'm doing these areas, I'm trying to bring out the folds of this. More than anything else, I'm trying to bring out the folds. So if you look at a turtle, it's full of folds. It's full of small folds, minute wrinkles. It's full of wrinkles along its surface. On this, now I can add. Now I'm working on these areas. This is a combination of a lot of intricate designs as well inside this. Leaving a narrow gap in between them. It's just about observing and getting these right. And at certain times, we don't have to obsess over all the small details. Sometimes we look at the reference image and we want to replicate it just the way it is. But that also need not be the case. You don't have to. There's absolutely no need for you to replicate what you see, the reference image just the way it is. You can bring up changes in the shape, the size, the form. Now I can just blackening these eyes. Then I can darken these some of these areas. I can add these. Now that the sketch is complete, now I'm adding in the details here. So I'm just adding in these shading and this depth patterns below here. I can add the depth here. I can create some depth along these areas. Just adding in these depth and this one. I don't want to leave these blank. Right? I don't want to leave any of these blank. If you wanted to get into the details, the full blown details of all of this, you need to understand that it's going to take a lot of time because all the shading on this one, this shell, the patterns, they are beautiful. They are extremely beautiful, and there is a lot that you can do on this. But I'll just keep it simple for now, and I'm going to start by shading these. Okay, I'm just shading these here. Notice how I'm going to take a different method to cross hatch here because, and I just think that this will give this a very unique look. See, the direction of the hatches don't matter. It's the look and the feel that you're trying to achieve. What about this side? Yeah, let's do this. It's just hatching over these areas. That's it. That's it. Like, of course, I can just put a little bit of shading on these areas. Just a wee bit of shading on these areas because I don't want to make them look blank. So I can keep changing the direction of this. I can keep changing the direction of this. That's okay. That. There you go. So that's our drawing for the day. We are at day 17, salty, and we have a sea turtle. So can't believe it's already 17th October. I mean, this year is nearly getting over. What a year it has been. Hey, I mean, you can in fact just show a little bit of this water effects on top of this if you want. Create a slight water effect on this rather than leaving it completely blank. So this helps add a little bit of context. See, notice how I'm just making these zigzag patterns, and that eventually when they come together, they eventually look like this. So you can create these effects for water avatar. Next time let's try drawing avatar. Another time avatar, Nemo. There you go. I like this. Day 17, salty. So how did it feel to come back to the morning classes after a week long break? Do you feel good? Was it difficult catching up? Did you just rush into the last moment? Or was it all smooth? It just felt like I'm like it's just easy, and you could just come in. Whatever it is, let me know. Share your experience in the WhatsApp group. Share your work, share your drawings, and I wish you all the very best. Have an absolutely beautiful day, all of you, and we'll see you again till we see again tomorrow. Tomorrow morning for the next drawing. Take care and bye bye.